Okay, this phone that I'm have in my hands is the ZTE Axon-7. As the date of this recording, this phone is approximately 1 year old, but it still is pretty fast. I power it on. There are 3 buttons. There's the power button on the bottom here, and the volume buttons up here. I just have this thing to keep the dust from going into the headphone jack. But this phone does have a headphone jack. Just put this little protector to keep the dust from going in when I insert it in my pocket. This phone boots up pretty fast. Also has a fingerprint sensor in the back, which unfortunately I can't show you because I posted some confidential information on the back of the phone in case it gets lost. But it boots up. I basically just touch the fingerprint sensor in the back. Because it boots up, it's going to ask me for a PIN. Okay. So after I enter my PIN, it unlocks the phone. I turn it off. And by just pushing the fingerprint sensor, will unlock the phone. It does it fairly fast, and this phone is pretty fast. Okay. One of the things that I don't like about this phone, well, 2 things is, one, because it is a ZTE phone, and with the US and issues with ZTE, sometimes there's issues with software updates. Another thing with this phone is that even though I did not root it and I did not jailbreak it, some applications that I try to install from the Google Play Store will identify this phone as being jailbroken or rooted and will refuse to install on it. Such programs such as banking apps, some video games will not install because it considers this phone as being rooted or jailbroken, when in fact it is not. Something else about this phone is that it doesn't run the standard stock Android. It says that it has stock Android on it, but it is not stock. One of the things I do like about this phone is it's one of the few phones that I know of that has an auto power off. So I can schedule this phone to power off at a certain time. And this phone also has dual SIM. So it does take 2 SIM cards if you want. If you don't use the 2 SIM cards and you just want to use one, the other slot can be used as a micro SD card, a memory card, so you can use that to store pictures or videos on it. So this phone, as I mentioned, is pretty fluid.